Today's Thursday, February 2nd, 2023. Can you guys believe it's already February? I'm going to have to do a video about time and how time just isn't the way that it used to be. And day-night cycles, the length of day-night cycles is variable. It's not always the same, and different ages have different day-night cycles, different speeds of days. And today, yeah, certainly time has been sped up today. January flew right by. 2022 flew right by. So today, a little bit different. This is a short chapter from Isaiah. That doesn't mean it's not a good chapter from Isaiah. So I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to talk about chemtrails for a little bit. A really annoying subject that there's still deniers out there. People that deny reality that you can just see with your own eyes. But that kind of goes into people just live on the TV, and they live in a TV reality. And they don't actually go outside and use their eyes very often or think for themselves. So if the TV tells them that's not real, they just believe the TV. Or, oh, it's supposed to happen like that. It's always been like that. And with the chemtrail thing too, it's crazy. Have you guys noticed that when they go in and, you know about the digitally remastering? Have you heard of them going to old media? And whenever you see the word master, that's a code word for these people. When stuff gets digitally remastered and they start putting chemtrails into all the old media, it's crazy. This is how they play mind games on people. Anyways, let's read Isaiah chapter 4. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, We will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel, only let us be called by thy name, to take away our reproach. In that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion, and he that remaineth in Jerusalem, shall be called holy, even every one that is written among the living in Jerusalem. When the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof by the spirit of judgment, and by the spirit of burning. And the Lord will create upon every dwelling place of Mount Zion and upon her assemblies a cloud and smoke by day, and the shining of a flaming fire by night, for upon all the glory shall be a defense. And there shall be a tabernacle for a shadow in the day time from the heat, and for a place of refuge, and for a covert from storm and from rain. Okay, very interesting. In Isaiah chapter 3, he's talking about God's judgment. Now, I don't know exactly what Isaiah is talking about. Is this something that's already happened? Is he talking about the millennial kingdom here? Is that what's being described here? I don't know exactly. But in chapter 3, Isaiah does talk about God's judgment. And so I don't know what, and this could have been a historical event that already happened. But in the same way, it could have been a historical event that happened that's also foreshadowing to the way things will be in the end, the very end. So, but I find very interesting here the thing of 7 women shall take hold of one man. And they're saying that we'll eat our own bread, wear our own clothes, but just let us call me by your name. The scarcity of men as a topic is very transpocalypse. And I think it's the way that things were. And I guess I'll describe some of the eugenics program very quickly. Men are very scarce, even today, non-Freemartin men. And the bloodlines are carefully guarded. Because here's the thing about Freemartin bloodlines. It's really a genetic dead end. If you have a Freemartin and you have a woman, you will never make a non-Freemartin man out of that. You can only make other women or other Freemartins. And in that way, that's how they create these slave populations that are beneath them, in their mind. They closely guard these male bloodlines using cross-dressers, and the general population is mostly made up of Freemartins. Go research Brave New World. So in Aldous Huxley Brave New World, he tries to say that Freemartins are like infertile females. I think what Huxley is getting at there is that it's a genetic dead end. If you're a Freemartin, you can only create other women or Freemartins. It's not the same as if you have a non-Freemartin male and a woman who can create all sorts of things. Well, you know, the two standard things, man and woman. You're stuck with the Freemartin bloodline. You lose. They don't have the ability to create non-Freemartin men. I think that's what's being hinted at with Brave New World, how he says Freemartins are infertile. Because today Freemartins can have children, they can father children, but they will never create a non-Freemartin man. In that way, I think that they're infertile because, yeah, it's a genetic dead end. They will never be able to create a non-Freemartin man out of that bloodline. And so that's what I think is going... Man scarcity. In times past, that would be what you would do. If you take out your enemy, you would kill all the men. And this brings me to the whole Freemartin thing. Life finds a way. If you have a population that's all women, life finds a way. What are the chances that the children that they're having flip to become a boy? And if you've ever heard about this, this happens with chickens. If you have a group of chickens, they can all be girl chickens. This is after they're born. One of those girl chickens can flip into a rooster. Life finds a way. So with this secret guarded bloodlines and with creating a population that is mostly made out of Freemartins, that is the very real eugenics program that this reset has been built upon. And I don't know how often they do this with the resets. The whole reset thing is a topic that I do want to get into and keep researching. I'm picking up some old images and going through old images and looking at it's, as far as our recorded history, non-Freemartin men have been exceptionally rare. It's been the norm to be a Freemartin for this entire history reset. And when we look at the women in the old photos, they very often look like dudes cross-dressing. And so we know that since the beginning of at least what we have as recorded history with photographic evidence, these inverts have always been around. But that's what when I read this, I think transpocalypse. Again, Isaiah is talking about transpocalypse ideas with scarcity of man. Okay, kind of changing topic for a little bit. This is just annoying me right now. I like the pictures of the people looking at their cell phones. I really hate all the chemtrails. It's ridiculous where I live. They're over the top with it. They'll play tic-tac-toe with the sky. They make it look like the pilot forgot their wallet and had to do a U-turn and start heading back. You can tell that it's really low in the sky a lot of times, or really high. They do it in layers. Some days there will be like 3 different layers of chems going on. And, I mean, you probably hear it in my voice a little bit. I've had a little bit of a sinus thing going on, and I'm almost certain, 100% certain, that it's just from all the spraying that they've been doing where I live recently. They've been out of control with it. Have you guys noticed that these days the changes in the weather seem to affect your body a lot more? In the 90s, I didn't really feel changes, but I also lived in California, so up here in Oregon, the seasons are a little bit more extreme. However, it just seems like everybody these days, it's like I'll get a headache or I feel it in my head when there's going to be weather stuff going on. I just don't ever remember it being like that in the past, like being able to feel it in my head that, oh yeah, there's a storm coming. I feel like my body is a barometer these days, and it could have something to do with the firmament coming down. Anyways, prophecy delivered to Hopi Indians. Near the day of purification, there will be cobwebs spun back and forth in the sky. And I bet that they've done resets doing this kind of stuff, setting off... I don't believe in volcanoes. I think that volcanoes are man-made, I think that a lot of what we call volcanoes today are old pilings, old tailings from mining operations, and lava is just glass. It's man-made glass, lava. It's just a dirty type of glass. But anyways, I think that this is a very possible way that they've done resets in the past. A select few know ahead of time that they're going to do this reset thing. They get all the canned goods that they can and go down into the undercities or in their basements or whatever, and they set it off, and they just completely, we live in a contained system. We live under the firmament, and they know this stuff. So I think that what they say happened to the dinosaurs, of course, meteors are fake and all that, but they probably have sprayed so much ash and crap into the sky before to just completely decimate most of the population. It would be, I think that that is how they would kill off a lot of people. A select group of individuals could collectively agree to wipe out most civilization by screwing with the sky. I think that's really, I don't believe in the whole using the atom bomb thing, the nukes and stuff. I don't think it's that complicated. I don't think that they have to go and bomb the whole earth all over. I think that they just throw enough ash and smoke into the air that it really screws up the earth for enough years that most people die. That's probably what ice ages. I think that when they talk about old ice ages, it's probably from them doing a history reset. Well, we're going to kill off, this reset isn't going very well. They're not believing in the ball earth stuff. So let's try again. Give it a couple years and start a new one. Anyways, solar geoengineering. Why Bill Gates wants it, but these experts want to stop it. Have you heard that Bill Gates wants to block out the sun? They're already doing it. This is one of those ridiculous things. They're already blocking out the sun pretty much like every day where I live. But they're going to do further and further things. And it's end times prophecy that the sun is going to go black. So they're going to, I think that they might say the aliens are doing. This is just a well-known thing because they've painted themselves into a corner with this, with their whole outer space ball stuff. They're going to have to say that aliens are invading and that aliens are doing all sorts of weird things in the end. They're going to have to use aliens to explain the spiritual phenomenon that's happening in end times. And the sun will go black. It's written about in the Bible. And the moon will turn to blood. And they're going to blame this stuff on aliens or science tech. Oh, they're doing it to stop global warming or something. I thought this was weird that they gave such a flat-looking image for this. Flight, and here they had some truth in plain sight talking about balloons, right? Because you should know that that's not a photograph right there, because you can't get the stars and the sun like that. That wouldn't work in one photo. But I was just surprised that they showed such a flat one. Usually they show so much fake curvature. A dry run of the steerable balloon. I just thought this was truth in plain sight. Why would they need to do this stuff in the atmosphere using balloons? Couldn't they do all this stuff like in outer space? Wouldn't it make more sense to do this stuff in outer space to reflect light before it starts heating up the Earth? But this is all that they can do is balloons. They can't get past the firmament. I thought this was hilarious. It's because they're already doing this. They already do this. Look, that looks exactly like a chemtrail. This isn't anything new. They're already doing this. Today was supposed to be such a beautiful day where I live. And then they started doing this. Today was supposed to be beautiful. Dimming the sun to cool the plane is a desperate idea, yet we're inching toward it. The scientists who study solar geoengineering don't want anyone to try it, but climate inaction is making it more likely. Notice too how they always try to pin it on us like it's our problem. Oh, it's your fault that the sun is hot. Actually, as we'll be seeing later in Isaiah prophecy tells us that in the end, the sun and the moon get brighter and the sun gets hotter. The moon is colder now. It's obvious now that the moon has cold light. If you go out into a full moon, ooh, it just saps the heat right away from you. And you can really clearly now see, I've just noticed the way that frost patterns work. Things that are in moon shade don't frost over, but stuff that gets hit by direct moonlight frosts over. I've just noticed that where I live. You might live in a place that's so cold everything frosts over, I don't know. Yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. God bless everyone.